So, what is our topic today? Which I know y'all can hear the drums. Sorry, that just kind of sucks because my stepdad's doing that, and there's a part of me
It
that
is what it is.
it
It
is
is what it is.
Um, we're gonna be covering, as the title says, childhood trauma, which comes in all shapes and forms. Like, it doesn't have to be like excessive.
It doesn't have to be like strictly about like abuse or
And
like
it doesn't have to be something that affects your life like a lot, or even like
It could-
something that you might not even notice yourself.
yeah, it could be like something that like traumatized you as a child. Like it could be the littlest thing, like a dog.
That you didn't realize.
Yeah, that you didn't realize.
But-
It could be a dog, for all we know. But all sorts of trauma is important, though. Like important to really talk about because it's actually one of the main topics that is not expressed enough.
It is not.
Like,
And for
which
those
is
of you who are returning, not to cut you off, this one and the last one was recorded back to back, which is why I still have a cold.
yeah, which is why I still have. Yes.
Which is like cold, by the way. That's okay.
But it's really sad to think about, like they advertise like you can go to therapy for childhood trauma, but because I've done that, I've gone to therapy for it, and they don't actually support childhood trauma. They see that as a child being scared. Like
Yes.
they see that as like just scared. They don't see it as something that can go into your adult life. Like I endured a lot of trauma, which you guys are gonna find out.
Which is why it's great, actually, that me and her are talking about this together, because we have two very different types of traumas.
Yes.
We have. She has trauma that was very brutal. I'll
Very
say.
abusive.
Like, very, like, actual trauma. And I just have kind of light stuff that you wouldn't really think would affect
Yeah.
someone in the long run,
Yeah.
but it does.
And it's also the way that people say things to you as well growing up. Like school. That is a big thing. Even like on top of like bullying, like a lot of kids get traumatized that word. Fucking commercials.
Oh, I thought you were getting a phone call. I was like, who's interrupting now? My dad interrupted the
Yeah.
first one. Now
Your
someone-
mom stopped
yeah,
in.
my mom stopped in. You
No.
know what? I have a sign just for this.
Yep.
I put the recording in progress sign on.
No, but it's like a lot of, especially like between like the grades of like third and like seventh grade, endure a lot of trauma.
Yes.
So that's where a lot of mine come from too, because you guys can't see it, but you know, I have really curly hair and really thick hair, and growing up, I always had it down. Everyone said that, you know, because the one time I had a certain kind of hairstyle. I forget what it was, and I got made fun of it for it. Like people made Vine channels about me. Like they made Instagram accounts about me, just making fun of me. They would harass me. They would put notes in my locker telling me to go kill myself because of my hair.
Yeah.
And because of how thick and curly it was. Not a lot of people have the thickness that I do, because you normally see that in like Puerto Ricans, you know, African Americans, all that. You don't see that in a white person. But I can't help what my hair type looks like because my genetics.
Yeah.
Which is really sad that like kids nowadays are still getting that crap. And social media doesn't help either.
No.
Like social media is a big part of it too. Like
especially when there is so much encouragement
Yes.
that when somebody says or like makes fun of somebody else
It's a
for
train.
something that shouldn't even be made fun of.
It's like a bandwagon.
Well, I'm not gonna lie, there are some things that you should make fun of people.
Like, there are some things that people should voice themselves about, like saying, hey, this is not right.
But, yeah, go
Yeah.
into the extent of what
Yeah.
happened to you with multiple Vine pages, because that's what it was at the time.
Yeah, like I'm 22 now, and this was happening when I was like, oh god, how old was I? I was like 13. So it was like 9 years ago this was happening, which lines up with Vine, because Vine didn't go out until Musical.ly came along, which is really weird to think about. That like one social media platform started up and another went out.
Was that how it is? Like, what was it? So it was Vine, then Musical.ly, now TikTok.
Yeah.
And if you think about them, all of those, this is kind of straying off topic, but the reason why the next one came about was the other one got taken down.
Yes.
So, like, that's one reason why, like, I'm not worried about TikTok necessarily.
Like, they're talking about taking TikTok down.
Which is why I'm not necessarily
I'm not worried about
because
it.
if they take TikTok down,
They're pretty much taking away all the money.
No, they'll have another platform that does the same thing by the next weekend.
Yeah.
One thing I was gonna say before we move on about the childhood trauma, like when you said it kind of started. I think that's about where mine started too, and that's just because, in my opinion, I feel like between third, fourth, fifth grade, and especially middle school.
Oh my god.
Not as much high school. Like me personally, I think once you hit high school, you're just at the end of knowing who you are and what you are interested in. Like you figured everything out.
Yeah.
But the last couple of years of elementary and middle school are really like stuff that highly impacts the way you act, the way you feel, the way you present yourself.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like those years are the very important ones that really set you off for the rest of your life.
Yeah. Like, crazy to think about that, like, these are kids. And they're making fun of other kids when they have no idea what they're going through. They have no idea what their home life looks like. And on top of that, they're getting bullied. Like, me growing up, I've always had a rocky household. I've always had a rocky household. There was no stableness in my family. The only time they were stable is when my nephew was around.
Yeah.
That was the only time there was stableness, because there was nurses coming in and out, and they had to make it look like that we were a normal family.
And most of the time, going back a little bit, the people who are bullying and stuff usually are the ones who also
are enduring things.
They don't know what you're going through, but they're usually also enduring. They're enduring what they're dishing out at home.
They're also picking up what they learned at home.
So, like, they bully others because they might be getting bullied really heavily by
their parents,
a sibling or parents,
yeah,
or like just other family members in general,
yeah.
Which doesn't make it any better or any more right.
It doesn't justify it.
But you can't wholeheartedly blame them, because to them, that's the way things work.
To them, that's normal. Is, you know, getting picked on and picking on people and bullying people. Like, they were probably so used to getting bullied that to them was normal. Which is really sad to say that, like, that's how some kids grew up. That's how I grew up. But
thank God you didn't follow down the same path.
I thank my mom for that.
I was gonna say, and I think it was all due to your mom.
Thank my mom for that.
Because your mom would never put up with that.
I had to deal with it with my sister enough. I had to deal with it with my middle sister enough. So I kind of learned from experience that I don't want to feel the way, like, I don't want to treat people the way that I'm feeling. and
Yeah.
I don't want to make their day crappier just by something I said.
Mhm.
Like in 5th grade, I got threatened that I was going to get shot in the head, and that he was going to come after my whole family.
Mhm.
You know how I am with my family. Like anything happens, I'm gone.
Yeah.
Like my mom. Like a lot of this was recent too. A lot of people at work were saying that she was faking it. That she was faking having heart problems and all that.
Mhm.
And they would say it in front of me because they know I can't say anything at work. So I went to my boss. I'm like, listen, if they say something about my mom again, do I have permission to say something? She's like, absolutely. I don't know why you haven't said something before. I'm like, I don't want to get in trouble. I don't want to cause a scene that's gonna end up me having to leave work early that day.
Mhm.
And like they were saying that she was doing this for attention. She was doing this because she didn't want to come to work anymore. She didn't want to do work anymore. And after that, I just blew up. I'm like, listen, you don't know what's going on. You don't know what she's feeling, how she's feeling. Like, I'm like, she's in a hospital right now. Like, you don't have the right to say that stuff about somebody who's in a hospital who's about to endure a heavy surgery.
Mhm.
Like it was rough on all of us, I will say that, but it is not the hardest thing I have to go through. I will say it's one of the hardest things I had to go through, but I'm glad that she made it out the other end.
And that's the one thing I'll say. What she did, sticking up for her mom, that's another thing that we need to do more of, is sticking up for each other.
Yeah.
Because like, you know, the bullies want the easy targets.
Yes.
You stick up for yourself, it doesn't stay.
Yeah.
If you can't stick up for yourself, if you have somebody else stick up for yourself, it deters the bully. Granted, they'll move on to somebody else.
Yeah,
But if, especially if you live in a small town like us, it's not gonna take long for them to run out of people.
yeah, which they will eventually,
So,
and then they'll retrieve to cyberbullying.
Yeah.
And attack somebody who they don't even know, by the way. Yeah. Like, I've gotten cyberbullied before, and
I have partially gotten cyberbullied, but I'm not gonna lie, it was also kind of my fault.
Well,
I'm old enough to admit that it was kind of my fault. So my friend made a really... So in middle school, this kid released a video. And he made a really funny comment about it. And I gave him my phone and he posted it under my profile. My YouTube profile. And I will say though, these kids who were trying to come back at me and say stuff, if you see this, or just saying for them, y'all really need to work on your comeback skills, or I hope you did, because like if you're gonna say something, you gotta make sure it makes sense.
Yeah.
But he left a comment. It came off a little rude. They found out it was mine. They tried to confront me in school, and I was like, look, it wasn't me who left the comment. It was my friend. But obviously, I'm not gonna tell him my friend. So they got
like
pissed.
you don't rat.
And then they started leaving comments, and I'm not gonna lie, this is where it was kind of funny. And it's technically still classified as cyberbullying, kind of like what my friend did, but also what they did to me. But as I said, I kind of deserved it. But it also made no sense. Because if y'all see this was me all through my whole life. Just skinny as hell.
Skinny.
And you can imagine if my arm is skinny, my whole body is skinny.
Yeah. He's always, as long as I've known him,
They were making fat jokes and saying that I had more rolls than a bakery.
Bitch, where?
And I was like, dude, I'm sitting at home laughing. Because I'm like,
where?
I'm like, it's like...
You drown in your hoodies.
Yes, dude!
You drown in your hoodies.
I was like, it just made no sense. But...
That was also another thing I got made fun of. Which also explains why I got so thin.
Yes, there was a period of time where you got very...
attacked.
thinned out. But it was by one person specifically. Which, let's try not to name drop.
Nope.
I don't want to edit this.
No, we're not. This one I'm not name dropping because it's in the past.
Yeah.
Like, obviously I got past it. But my sophomore year of high school, I was going through a lot of legal things with my dad. Like, I had to go to court in March and basically testify against my dad for PFA. If, for those who don't know what a PFA is, basically a protection order against a certain person, but you need more than one person to testify. And it had to be somebody who lived in the area, like lived in the house or endured the same, I'm going to say abuse. Endured the same abuse as...
Well, it definitely was.
Yeah. Like, my dad threatened to throw a cocktail bomb through my attic window, threatened to throw my sister off of the bridge that goes to 248.
The W Port Bridge.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Threatened to kidnap me because I was a minor. And I am deathly afraid of my father. You know this. I am deathly afraid of him. And this was the time period where he was nasty. Like, beyond nasty. And on top of all that, I was getting made fun of my weight. Because my metabolism was so fast my sophomore year of high school that I would eat. It just would not go anywhere. And then I decided to date this kid who liked to keep me skinny, like keep me 100 pounds.
Like me.
Yeah.
But I don't do it on purpose. I just can't. I just can't get it.
Like, he would keep me at 100 pounds. Like, he would see I'd get like a 10-piece nugget. After 5, he'd take it away from me. He would take it away from me. Like, any food that I had.
Which is why you still probably don't eat a lot. Just because now your stomach is probably shrunken and it still just hasn't.
Yeah. So it was around the same time I went to court. There was this one girl I went to school with. She's not the skinniest person in the world. I'm gonna say that. She was not the skinniest one in the world.
Do we both know? Did I think
Yeah.
Does she work at the same place as you?
No.
Or are we thinking of different?
I'm thinking of somebody else, probably.
What's the letter of the first name?
V.
Oh, I'm not sure. We'll talk about it
Or-
afterwards.
Yeah. She made a comment to me because I came into school late that day because I physically could not get out of bed for about 4 days. I could not get out of bed. And on that 4th day, I decided I had enough of just being in bed and missing school. So I showed up to school halfway through the day. And he saw me for the first time in like 4 days.
It was wild. Now, for me, it wasn't anything that, like, it didn't catch me off guard too much, because me and you weren't friends that long at the time.
Yeah.
So, to me, like, when we became friends, you were already missing how many days of school to begin with when we started.
Yeah.
So, to me, it wasn't, like, anything that seemed unordinary.
Yeah. But you saw me come in.
But you were, like, twig.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm gonna be honest, I don't think I even necessarily noticed.
Because I was always wearing baggy
Until
clothes.
you mentioned it.
I was always wearing baggy clothes
But-
too. That didn't help. Like, the only thing that'd be like tight on me were my pants.
Yeah.
Like, I was always wearing hoodies, long sleeve shirts that like bagged over me. Like, after, and I will say this, I lost within like a week of that time period. I think I lost like 15 pounds. Because I was 115 before court.
Yeah.
Then after court, I dropped down to like 100 pounds, 99 pounds. And I go to lunch that day, and I'm eating a chicken sandwich. Like, you know the chicken patty sandwiches that they used to make at school?
Yeah. The ones that like honestly didn't taste all that great.
But they were still fucking good.
They were good.
They were
good for high school food, but like, yeah, I blew one on camera, and I feel like YouTube's gonna get mad about that.
Yeah.
So now I'm trying to like do it all.
Yeah.
Last stream or last podcast wasn't that bad because there was sunlight in here and you couldn't see it.
Yeah.
But
I'm eating a sandwich, and the girl goes, "Oh, you're finally eating." I got up, I only took, I want to say like 2 bites out of it, out of that sandwich. I only took like a bite or 2 out of it.
mm-hmm.
And I got up, threw my stuff away. I went down to the band room because
I don't blame you. That's like your safe space.
I felt like that was the only place where I did not get judged, and I actually cried to my band director. I actually cried to him, telling him I was going to kill myself because of that comment. Because she basically implied that I was anorexic.
Yeah.
Which I was not. If you could see my ribs, like, and you could like if I would roll my sleeve up and like you could see like the elbow part sticking out, like that. Like if you could see that sticking out, like going from somebody who was like 130 pounds to 90 pounds, and they did that. I don't want to say not willingly, but if that's like how their mindset is, that's different. It's because I was going through such a deep depression, I had no will to eat.
Yes.
Like, I only drank water. That's why I got so skinny. Because I lost all that fat just from drinking water. And, like, Gatorade.
Gatorade's good.
It is good. It is good.
I got Gatorade under the futon.
Yeah, you do. But...
Wait, my mom should have bought me more.
But it's like, it's shit like that just gets me every fucking time.
And that's the thing, what she said. It's like, it's even the dumb stuff. And even if they're not going through something, but she was going through something, and then hearing a comment like that can just throw you over the
edge,
the tipping point.
Yeah, like I was at my tipping point too, like before that comment.
Now, like me personally, the only comment, and not even comments that kind of stuck with me throughout middle school, but they were jokes and nobody knew at the time. So like back in middle school, like I had a really good feeling I was gay back in middle school. Actually, even before that, like the last couple years of elementary, like 4th, 5th grade, I had a pretty good idea. But in middle school, I had a group of friends. It was, I think it was me, D. God, I can't think what his name is. S and E. I think there was 4 of us total. But they would always make like you know, like the typical, like the gay jokes. When you're closeted, you're not
gonna make the joke.
You're not. Well, I made the jokes.
Well, you made the jokes, not trying to make it seem like
you're not gonna say anything to like correct them or. I don't know. I feel like that might be why now they've all admitted that they accept me.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Who I am. Like, it was a joke. They don't actually hold anything. But I wonder if still to this day, if that's why every now and then I still have some like slight acceptance issues with myself. Because I heard it every day. So even little stuff like that that you wouldn't think you would carry. You can.
And it's like, even like the little things at home too, kind of get you as well. Like, I truly do believe that I endured a lot more trauma, and even just the short time period with living with my dad.
Oh yeah, most
than most adults deal with in toxic relationships.
Depends on the toxic relationship.
It I will say that it does. Like, I was never beaten. Like, I was never like brutally beaten. Like my dad used to use like a belt on me.
I feel like you might have endured like
A
the-
lot of mental.
like the typical what people think of like in a regular scenario, like it's not good, but in like a regular abusive relationship, to me I think of like you get hit every now and then,
Yeah.
but you mainly get like yelled at, screamed at, maybe stuff thrown at you or near you.
Mhm.
At the more like light abusive scenarios are just kind of the verbal, and then the extreme ones are more like the
Yeah.
hitting all the time.
Yeah.
So I feel like you kind of endured more of like that,
The mild.
the the mild, the medium one where
Yeah.
every now and then you got unnecessary hitting, but
Yeah.
it was a lot of psychological.
Yeah, like I will say a lot of the like shyness that I have now, because you can even see it sometimes.
Mhm.
Like some of the shyness that I have now goes all the way back to my childhood.
Well, even me. We had this conversation the other day before we actually started doing podcasts when we were just kind of thinking of stuff. I told you, even with me, like a lot of me not really, like when we're hanging out with like a group of people,
Yeah.
me not really making jokes that I think of or saying things or sharing too much information with people is just, again, from my childhood.
Mm-hmm.
Because like me as a kid, I wasn't really, I tried to say something that I was like proud of to a parent,
Mm-hmm.
and they would just kind of like not really pay attention
Yeah.
or listen to what I was
Like,
saying.
a lot of our friends that we have make a lot of drug jokes. And I'm not going to name drop, but see,
Mhm.
you know who I'm talking about.
Mhm.
He, at his party on Saturday, was making a lot of drug jokes. And I was very uncomfortable because of the way that I grew up with my dad. It just set off all of my trauma and all of my like PTSD,
Yeah.
because as he said, it was a drug party.
Mhm.
And like a lot of his friends too were making jokes about like heroin, meth,
Mhm.
you know, crack. And it just kind of hurt me a little bit because he knows my past.
Yeah.
He knows what I've dealt with my dad specifically, not even my mom. I wasn't even alive when my mom did that shit.
Yeah.
Like it just felt like he was doing digs at me, even though I know he wasn't. But mentally, I'm like, I did something wrong. I fucked up somewhere. This is my fault.
And that's usually what's drilled into your head with anything, especially like abusive style stuff.
Yeah.
It's always drilled in that you are the problem.
Yeah.
Not them. You are the
Yeah.
problem.
And I gave him a look, and you know he didn't understand what the look was about.
Well, he was high himself at the time, or drunk. He was one of the two at the time.
Yeah. And
So he doesn't really accomplish.
it was also the friends he had over too.
Mhm.
It was also the friends. Like, I don't want to sit here and talk shit on him, because
No.
that's not what I do. You
or
know
his
that.
friends, because I mean, I wouldn't say I mean this in the nicest way, especially if like they find this.
Yeah.
I don't necessarily consider them like friends per se, because like I'm not texting them, and I'm not arranging to meet up with them or hang out with them.
Yeah.
But like, I mean, I'm invited over there,
Yeah.
and it's always nice to see them. Like they're great people. It seems like when certain people are running the party,
Yeah.
it seems like it's a little more chaotic than when other people are.
Yeah. Like, whenever I have my parties, Like, I just have, like, drinking parties.
Those are fun.
They are. They're a lot of fun.
Valentine's Day
Oh, that was a lot of fun.
a lot of
That was a lot of fun.
minus the ending for me. But
it's like,
I didn't even drive home the next day. I still couldn't. It was like 1, 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and I still didn't feel safe.
like, I had to follow him to his house, and my boyfriend
her boyfriend had to drive.
Yeah, my boyfriend had to drive his car. But
her boyfriend is literally the only person who has ever driven that car like on the road, but me.
But it's like, I know how to throw a party. I get to his party. I get it. It's like 9:30 at night, almost 10 o'clock. You know, things like wind down a bit. But I text them at like 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, and I'm like, who's all there? And he's like nobody. And I'm like,
yeah, nobody got there. He said to me this morning, nobody got there till like 9:30.
Yeah.
Which was surprising and weird.
Yeah. Like, it was weird. Like, it was not worth going. Like, I hate to say that, but another thing he also said, because he was asking me where you were, and
I told him I wasn't coming.
I'm like, he's not coming. He has a competition he has to do.
I thought I told him on Friday.
And he's like, well, he told me he was coming. I'm like, take that up with him. I'm not getting involved. I'm not getting in the middle.
I thought I told him on Friday, go for your loan. Or Thursday. It was Thursday or Friday. I think it was Thursday. I said, go for your loan tomorrow while you have nothing going on. And then he asked about the party, and I was like, I don't know if Justine's going to be there, because me and her can't miss bowling this week.
Yeah, And
he never said anything. And, like, another reason why I never showed up is he never directly asked me to come over.
Like, he never invited,
Like, I'm not just gonna show up. Like, if you tell me you're having a party, I'm not just gonna show up unless, like,
yeah,
you
like,
ask me. Because, like, you can say, like, I'm having a party, and, like, this person's coming over, this person's coming over, this person's coming over. Well, in my head, I think, okay, like, I'm not coming over. Especially with your plan for your party, and you know I don't do that stuff.
Mm-hmm. Like, my boyfriend's best friend wasn't even there, and they're pretty good friends.
Mm-hmm.
I want to say, like, they're pretty good friends, and he wasn't even there. Like, he wasn't even invited. And
Mr. Chevy Cruz?
Yes.
Oh.
Yes. And, like, I'm looking around, and I'm like, where is he? And sees, like, I didn't invite him, and I'm like, dude, he's the life of the fucking party.
I mean, I wouldn't say that. If there's alcohol involved, no.
But there wasn't that much anyway. There was not that much.
Kyle would have drank it all. I don't care that I name dropped that.
You know what? He won't care. He won't care.
There's certain names I don't want to drop, but like.
If it's like the main people. But
back to childhood trauma.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of it here.
Do we want me to tell one of my stories? I got a lot of stories.
Oh my god. Please turn it up.
Do we want me to tell?
I fell in love with this song when it was in 13 Reasons Why. That was, I think, the first scene in a movie or in a TV show, not a movie, that has made me cry.
Yeah. So.
But do you want to tell them what story?
I have many stories I could tell about abuse, or like even like manipulation.
So like I don't have a lot of stories of I don't have any stories of like abuse or manipulation, but like the stuff that like carried me through life, I still don't have a lot.
Yeah.
But it was just stuff. So it's not a lot, but it's stuff that was small, that was repeated.
Yeah.
So it was kind of like stuck and like drilled into me.
Yeah. Like, there was this one time I want to say I I was like 8 or 9. So my dad used to be an alcoholic, a heavy alcoholic, and he decided to drink. I think it was rum. It was an old bottle of rum we had,
Yeah.
and he drank the whole thing. He had a BB gun.
Oh, yeah, that's fun.
Yeah, he had a BB gun. He shot our front door, our front window, which, by the way, those windows have been in that house since the house was built, by the way.
So those still the same windows?
Those are still the same windows.
Okay, so we didn't break them.
No, he just got it on the edge where it's connected to the post.
The frame.
Yeah, where it's connected to the frame. He also broke one of the windows in my kitchen and our basement door. And he was looking for my mom. And the first thing I could think of, because he is screaming, he is swearing, looking for my mom. And sadly, the first instinct that I could think of is hide in the closet. Because I didn't want to get yelled at. I didn't want to get screamed at. I didn't want to get hit. Because you never know what their mindset is when they are drunk. Like, you never know.
No, you don't. And I mean, that's kind of what sucks.
Do you want to leave it on?
Oh. Yeah. I thought that was the song.
No.
It was just an ad for TurboTax. God damn.
But
bro, I still got a burrito.
I still got a taco. But it's like, there's that. There's me catching my dad trying to shoot up when I was 14. That's a story I could fucking tell. So, 2 days after Christmas, in like...
What did I just do? Oh, that's the skip button.
Oh, you mother fricker.
Gonna listen to that again.
Mofo. So, I want to say it was 2014, about to be 2015. It was December 27th. This is when I used to go to church, and be doing.
I'm turning it down. Which is what I was trying to do on the truck.
Yeah. But I'm up at I want to say 7 o'clock. 7:30, somewhere around there.
Yeah.
And I see my nephew's room light on. But my nephew was not home. He was at his other grandparents' house because his dad has split custody with his 2 daughters' mom.
Yeah.
And my nephew's disabled. He needed to get shots every day when he was a baby. Because he was not even 2 yet.
I don't know.
Because this was in...
Because I don't think that I was friends with you at this point.
No, you weren't. This was my 8th grade year.
Or I was going to say, we either weren't friends, or
you weren't even up here yet.
Or you weren't filling me in on this stuff. Oh no, I was up here.
Oh, were you?
I moved up here... Oh no, it was your 8th grade year.
You weren't even up here yet.
I moved up here the end of February of your freshman year. But I didn't start until...
the beginning of my sophomore year.
Yes. Because I was a dropout for a couple of months. I was failing everything, and it was just... It was just the... This is another thing that played... I'm such a... So it's not... I guess you could consider it childhood trauma. So, I I'm a person who I'm very like socially awkward in like massive groups.
Yeah.
Small groups, I'm fine.
Like our little group that we have.
Massive groups, no.
Mm.
And I went to, so to put it in the perspective, there was 2 middle schools, but in high school there was one high school, and there was like 11 or 1,200 kids in my graduating class.
God.
So you can imagine 11 to 1,200 kids in my graduating class, plus the 3 other classes.
Yeah.
There were more kids in my graduating class in my old school than there was of students and faculty and staff up here.
Yeah.
In the school.
Yeah.
So for me, like, the change was just
Well,
something
you also
I
went
needed.
from living in the city
Yes, I also lived in the city.
to coming to a small town.
Yes, and I live in the countryside
That
too,
takes
on
up
top of it.
4 different, like, say districts, like small districts, and they all combine that into one school. And our graduating classes were still like under 200 people.
They still are.
They still are because of tech.
But like, yeah, no, I literally live in the countryside now, and it's so great. I don't think I'd have half of what I've had if I was still down there.
Yeah.
I definitely wouldn't have graduated.
No. But going back to what I was saying, but yeah, my nephew is still disabled. My nephew's autistic. He was born without an esophagus.
Please do not kick our light.
You think I could reach that?
I don't
You
know.
think I could reach
I
that?
used to be able to reach my ceiling.
Still can if I tried.
I don't think with your foot though anymore.
Not with my foot.
Yeah,
Probably with my hand.
No, you should be able to touch it with your foot.
Ugh. Yeah. But my dad was shuffling through his needles, and we had nurses coming in and out of the house like 24/7. We had 24-hour nurse care. And so I went over to his room because I thought he was home. I thought they came home early in the morning, but that was not the case, obviously. And he screamed at me, telling me to get out of the fucking house, go the fuck to church. And so, first instinct I had is obviously call mom. You know, let mom know that it's going through needles. But on top of that, I saw he had a tourniquet on, like veins popping out, like ready to go. Like I could see him, he was like doing like the flicking, like getting the blood flowing and everything. And because the needles were empty. They were empty, about ready to get filled up. Because, you know, they come in packages. The nurses were noticing that the needles were really missing. And he decided to take them while he was not home. That's how he got away with it for so long. And he... Oh,
Nothing.
nothing. I was saying, when are you having home?
I'm just her boyfriend. Nothing
Yeah,
more.
it's just my boy. But fuck you, I'm
Jesus
talking.
Christ.
It was on Snapchat. And I come home from church. I actually left early too because I could not just sit there and, you know, and just take in what I saw for. I think at that point it was like 5 hours. Yeah, it was like 5 hours after everything I just saw. And I come home. All of my dad's stuff is on the porch. My neighbors were downstairs ready for me to come home. And now these are tall women too, because...
It was what, like your neighbor that moved out that we used to go over to all the time?
Yes. Yes. And you know they're tall.
Oh, yeah.
They're tall.
She's freakishly tall. Oh, my God.
Yeah. And I got through them. Like, I pushed myself through them to get to my mom.
They let you.
No, they did
There's
not.
no way.
No,
They
they
let
were
you.
they were holding me back. Well, the man's dead. I'm about to talk about. So,
Yeah.
so my neighbor Tom, R.I.P.
Yeah.
He sat me down and kind of told me what was gonna happen, what the next step was gonna be. It was basically, it was down to me deciding whether I wanted him back or not. As I'm going through mental breakdown, realizing that this is it. This is the beginning of a broken household and a broken life. Like, it was always just my mom, my dad, and me. It was always just us three. Like, there was, like, yeah, my middle sister and her boyfriend and my nephew lived with us, but they went down, they went to the city
Mhm.
every other weekend. So it was like, most weekends it was just us three. And I was in such denial that I actually said, "You're lying." And in my head,
Mhm.
I know he doesn't lie to me about, like, serious situations like that.
Mhm.
I did not want to believe him. So once again, I get up and I made sure they were all sitting down when I did this. Because this was before we had a table in the living room. So it was just an open space.
Like the small like circle dining room table that you
Yeah.
have now.
Yeah. I ran through there and bolted up the stairs and locked myself in my mom's room. Like, door locked, closet locked, everything. And I go to my mom, like, what is going on? Why is all of this stuff on the porch? And this is when all of, like, the past, like, 4 years or, like, 6 years of trauma is starting to kick in. And that's when I had my first anxiety attack, too, that day. And just enduring everything, like, in real time.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just like, what is happening? Why is all this stuff on the porch? What is going on? Why are the locks changed? Why am I getting a new house key? And she sits me down. She's like, I know Tom tried explaining this to you. She's like, but now it's my turn. She's like, your dad is not coming back unless he goes to rehab. He did not go to rehab. Henceforth, why he's not in the house still.
I still don't think even if he went to rehab, he'd be coming back at this point.
No, we wouldn't let him back. But it's, I think it was also just her being done. She was just done. Which is really sad to say because she was in love with him. Like, that was the one she wanted to grow old with, was my dad. She tried making it work. Probably from the time he started drinking again to when I was 14. After that, she just kind of brushed it off and just said, we're done.
Which was definitely the right move.
It was the right move because if it wasn't, who knows? I could have gotten into drugs myself.
Yeah.
Or I could have became an alcoholic. Like it's just really, like, growing up.
Which you did for a little bit of time.
Yeah.
Just not to the extreme of like the hardcore drugs.
Yeah.
But you did turn to.
Yes.
So.
Yes. I didn't go to school because this was like a couple days after Christmas break was over. My mom gave me the choice whether I wanted to go back to school right away or if I wanted to stay home for a couple days. Mm-hmm. I decided to stay home because I needed a minute.
You needed to process everything that was going on.
Yeah, I needed to process what was going on. It was supposed to be a day. I didn't go back until, so we went back on a Monday. I didn't go back until that Thursday. So I already missed like 3 days of school
Mhm.
already after just being off of Christmas break.
Yeah.
And my homeroom teacher, he actually called my mom because he was concerned. My mom explained everything to him, and I still was not there.
Yeah.
Like, you could snap your fingers in front of me, and I would not respond. I was in such a daze that I didn't know what to do. And um, that's when I started therapy for the first time.
The first
The first time,
and not the last.
not the last time. I should be in therapy right now, but I'm not.
I should be on therapy, but like the issue is trying to get my problem fixed isn't easy.
Like,
Because I know what my problem is. It's just
Yeah.
hard.
So there's that, and then fast forwarding to
Great.
I want to say it was in between sophomore year and junior year is when I finally went to anger management.
I
Because
remember. Because you left for a little bit. Like when you first got into it.
um, they actually wanted to send me to a rehab for anger management because mine was so severe.
I don't know if I call it a rehab. It was more like a mental facility.
Yeah, it was a mental facility that
Which is where I went.
Which they wanted to send me there because it was so extreme that I don't know if I'm allowed to say this on camera,
I can always cut it out if it's too loud.
but I almost choked out my counselor, like my anger management counselor.
Mm-hmm.
I almost choked her out for saying something wrong,
For saying
like for saying something that I found offensive, like
yeah.
like my hands were almost around her neck. That's how extreme my anger was. And then to me, it was her being very condescending by giving me a packet of exercises to do to calm myself down. And I just said, I don't need a packet. I need you to fix me. I need you to fix my problems. I don't want to feel like this anymore. I don't want to be angry anymore. I'm like, I broke 2 phones because of my anger. One of them was an older one, and actually they were both old phones because I did not want to break my phone. So I think I broke a track phone, like keys everywhere. In the bathroom, by the way.
Oh god. Before it was remodeled, it looks really nice.
Yeah, before it was remodeled, so my mom didn't really give a crap. The arguments my mom and I would have.
Or an attic.
Yeah. The arguments we would have, they'd be screaming matches at like 6 in the morning. Because I would not sleep either. I had such bad insomnia just for being so angry.
Which I don't necessarily blame you for.
Like, I had so much built up anger that I think I did not sleep for a week straight. Which was very odd for me because I sleep so well now.
Not me. Well, actually, I'm not even gonna lie. Ever since I got this futon, so much more comfortable than a bed. I wake up so much easier. My back feels so much better, which sounds backwards.
But there was this one time my anger management counselor actually got a hold of my dad, and I had to sit through a session with my dad, and I want to believe he got doped up before that session because they actually sent, I think it was one of the school securities to get him so that he doesn't like bail or like doesn't like flake on me, because she could see, or in her head at the time, she believed this is something I needed. And it was not. It actually affected me more. It actually
No.
It actually affected me more.
We both gotta go. Scream us. Welcome to the background.
Whoop, not done.
Okay.
To, like, I sat there in silence the whole entire session because I could not deal with it a single fucking second. Like, let's see, you put me in a room with a lady I almost choked out and with the man who created my anger issues because she actually did diagnose me with learned behavioral anger issues and explosive anger issues, which explains me breaking the phones and just the explosions I would have. Are you playing with the fucking like?
I'm a guy, Justin. Don't yell at me. That's what we do.
But it's like
It's fucking creepy.
it was shit like that that just pissed me off to the point that I couldn't deal with it. Like it wasn't to the point that like I wanted to like off myself, but it was to the point that like I didn't want to do it anymore. I didn't want to.
You just couldn't deal with the pain.
That was it. Like I couldn't deal with the depression. I couldn't deal with the anxiety, the abandonment issues, the anger issues on top of it.
Which I think we are both diagnosed with. Not anger issues, but depression.
Oh,
and
yeah.
Anxiety.
Oh yeah. Like I have severe anxiety. Like you can see it whenever I go to bowling tournaments. Like I can't stop twitching. That's my anxiety, and it's also just my perfectionism.
You know who we should call and try and bring on as a guest?
Who?
Emma. Yes. You're gonna have to call her on your phone. I know she has some.
We'll have to do a part 2 to this.
She has some experience. I mean, you can call her.
Oh, my phone's at 37. So we'll do a part 2.
Never mind, let me flip the truck back around. I was gonna prop her up in the bed on FaceTime.
But
we'll do a part 2.
Say, we could do.
Or when she comes here during the winter time, I think.
Yeah.
But. We can actually have her sit down.
But it was shit like that. Like. It just fucked me up. Like, my dad fucked me up.
Oh, yes. 100%.
He fucked, like, my mindset now should not be the way my mindset is. Like, I'm scared of disappointing men. That has never been an issue with me before until I hit. It was recent, like 2 years ago.
Yeah.
It hit me like 2 years ago.
Just avoiding it like a guy isn't something that should be like a big priority. I say a big priority because like it kind of plays a mental game with you where like you don't want to disappoint a guy.
Yeah.
But then you also get into the mindset of like, well, I don't need a guy's approval.
Yeah, like.
But then like.
I'm also just afraid of confrontation.
But then like you're gonna. It affects your relationships too in the long run.
Like I'm so grateful for Brandon because he understands that I've endured a lot of trauma with men specifically. Like mainly with men coming and going in my life and having no consistency. Like
except for me, girl.
Yeah, exactly. Well, except for that little break we took, but that's something we both needed.
We really did.
But like with my dad would always come and go as he pleased. Like he treated me like trash. Essentially, he treated me like I was garbage, and I just let it happen. I just let it go. And with my one ex, he treated me the exact same way, and in my head, that was normal. like coming and
Because of
going.
that.
Yeah, coming and going as he pleased. You know, tried using me for my body. Like, I have shit that I could talk about with that, but I'm not because that's my own little experience.
Hmm.
I was also a child. Like, I was like 8 when that happened, where he tried. But it was also the fact that growing up with me is that, like, if you're not a teenager, you have no say in what you do. You have no say in how you feel. You just have to sit there and be quiet.
Hmm.
You see it sometimes with me, like if someone's speaking and like they're like speaking like rudely about somebody, I just sit there and let it.
You see, I do the same thing.
I sit there and let it go. Like,
It's also because, like, as I said, like with me in the past, I've learned like
mhm,
half of the time what I say people don't listen to anyway.
mhm,
Like I've just gotten so into the mindset of when I say something, I'm kind of just half of the time I say it just for myself, which is why you hear like sometimes I'll say something but it'll be like quiet or
yeah,
like I'll start saying something and like I realize nobody's paying attention and I'll
mhm,
finish my sentence but it'll like quiet out as it goes.
mhm. Like there was this one time Brandon came home from work. It was this past week. He threw his boots. Like he was trying to take them off, and he just threw them into the heater that's in the living room.
Yeah.
It scared me. Like it almost made me start crying because that shit.
Oh man.
Hmm?
I don't want to go to school. Nah, I ain't got school. I just got work all week.
But it's um like that shit my dad used to do was just throw his fucking boots.
Mhm.
And I think it had nothing to do with Brandon whatsoever. It had like it was just about like my PTSD. And after he did it,
Mhm.
he realized what he did and he went and took a shower, kind of calmed himself down and then came back and he's like I'm sorry for throwing my boots. I'm like you're fine. I'm like I get it. You had to release it, but in the back of my head, I'm like say it. Just say it.
It was just a trigger.
Yeah.
And
Like he's learning a lot of my triggers right now
Mhm.
because of him living with me and he doesn't understand a lot of them and which I understand. You're not going to get most of them.
Not
Like
immediately.
not immediately, but you learn as you go.
Even me, I'm still learning some. Mainly because I just have the memory capacity of like a squirrel.
Fly.
So yeah.
But
I'm getting blinded by this light.
do you want to turn it off?
No, look, it's giving us great lighting that's consistent.
Yeah.
But it's just
It's
I have a
bright.
habit of looking at it.
It's bright.
We had this big rectangle box light
Yeah.
that
But I will say one thing. My saving grace is all of my friends. I will say that.
that is one thing I was gonna say earlier and then I forgot about. Like even when you were back in middle school, you had Zach, you had Lucas, you had Ben.
Yeah.
You had great support.
Yeah.
Which I will say
More Zach than anyone else though, because I grew up with Zach.
I will agree because like Zach has been there when I needed him.
Yeah.
I feel like I got a notification. I feel like he still can be. Like if I text him if something's going on.
Oh, 100%.
Or like Lucas I will say was the one that surprised me.
Yeah.
Having my back.
Yeah.
Like in high school was it 10th grade year?
Maybe.
Yes, because I worked with him the summer after my freshman year. When my one friend sitting next to me made like a gay joke, but it was a gay joke that sounded like she was like hating on me, like dissing on me. Well, Lucas knew that I was gay, but he didn't know that I was friends with her. And he fucking went off on her in the middle of class.
Was it? Oh god, who was it?
Kaylee.
Mm.
Not Collins, Kaylee.
Yeah, I know.
But like,
I know.
she was only there, I think, that 1 year, and then she moved. But yeah, he like went off on her, and it was funny. But it was also great. Like, it was some reassurance that I needed that I haven't really had too much in my life. As I'm like slowly.
I will say one thing: anger management sucked balls.
So did the mental hospital.
It sucked. Cause like, what they were doing with me was actually making it worse, and I tried expressing myself about that, but they just wouldn't listen.
They usually don't.
They're just there for their money, and they go. But there are some really good like therapists and counselors that you meet along the way.
And I'm sorry, can we talk about this bitch when I was in the mental hospital that was complaining to her coworker? And girl, I hope you see this because you garbage as fuck. Complaining to her coworker that she was going on vacation that weekend. And they were taking I think she said, I can't remember if it was Ferrari or Lamborghini, but she said they were taking either the Ferrari or the Lamborghini and not something more expensive. And I was like, the fuck you talking about?
Yeah.
Like, I was like, you're gonna complain about that? I was like, I'd love
I would have taken either or.
Like, I'd love to.
Like, I would have taken either fucking or. This one's called depression, but it's all like gapped.
Is it like upper and lowercase?
It's lowercase.
Oh. So say if it was like up and lower.
That would have fucked with my head.
And no, because then it's supposed to be said like depression. Because that's what it is when they do that. You're supposed to say it like you're making fun of it.
Mm-hmm. That's Homer Simpson.
Oh. Oh my god, you gotta show that to them.
Yeah, you guys can see it.
Kind of.
Kinda.
That's alright though.
It's all good. But it's like...
Almost took my car.
But... It's like just the little shit like that. Like... I think it's also that people don't realize what they have and they express that. Make other people feel shitty in the world.
Yes. Yes, it does.
Like, I wish I could have that kind of money where I can say, oh, I don't want to take a Ferrari or a Lamborghini. I want something more expensive, but I don't. I have a 2001 Subaru.
I got a 2004 Toyota Corolla and a 2011 Ford Crown Victoria Police Interceptor.
Like, I have a 2001 Subaru that's falling apart.
So is the Corolla. If anybody wants it, $1,500. You know us as is.
1500.
Shut the fuck up. I gotta go to the bathroom, so I'll let you rant with that.
Oh boy.
Remember, I will watch this later.
Yeah, no.
Maybe. Pretty long.
Yeah. But yeah. Oh, you can't see his blanket, but it's got a horse on it. But it's weird to think that over like 7 years ago, all of this shit started. So, a lot of mental growth since then. So,
How are you?
I didn't realize you shut the door.
yeah,
Yes.
yes. Brandon texted me. He goes, "You still at Dylan's?" I'm like, "Am I home?" It's like, "No." I'm like, "Then yes."
Here's the tea, girl. You gotta say girl.
Girl.
Because remember, it's G-U-R-L.
Because somebody else took girl.
Somebody else had here's the tea, somebody had here's the tea, girl. So I put here's the tea, girl. And then it worked. Still can't find our own channel, but I think it's because there's no videos on it.
I am going to stop the music just because my phone gonna die.
I shall turn the truck on.
Yo,
Before it dies. How was your conversation with them while I was gone?
legit, all I did was answer Brandon,
Oh.
fix the blanket, fix the truck. And we adding another one. Is that Legos? Is that all out of Legos?
It's Technic.
It's what?
It's Technics.
Oh my
It
god.
has suspension and
Fucking
steering.
Fucking nerd.
Just and steering. And it also has rear suspension. I also made a trailer for it
Oh my
to
god.
tow my Mustang. So,
Do you have any questions?
do I have any questions?
Yeah.
I mean, maybe just like, how do you think that everything that happened kind of affected you?
I want to say it's very back and forth. Like, some days are pretty good, and other days it's just me still working through the process, even though it's been almost 8 years. I'm so afraid it's gonna fall. How?
It's on there pretty good.
Oh no.
The hood with the cheapest rendered engine in the world.
But you know, you have your the tire.
It's supposed to be on the back, but with the trailer hitch there, I can't put it on.
Like, you'll always have your good days and bad days. There is no in between.
No.
There is no, I'm having a somewhat of a good day when it comes to trauma.
No. It's just some days you power through it.
And other days you just physically can't. And those are the days that I'm either writing, I'm either drawing, or I'm at work. And the days that I can't power through and I have to go to work are the worst.
Usually when I'm at work is when, if it's dead at work, is when I tend to fall apart.
Yeah.
If it's busy at work and my mind's active, or like when I'm gaming, watching, like gaming, recording a video, or hanging out with friends, or editing a video, or like what we're doing now, where we're editing a video, or the prior conversation when we weren't talking about depression and shit.
Yeah.
But
Like, I feel like mental health, like, is very, like, I get it. Like, people make a platform about like how mental health is so important, but I feel like they don't highlight the importance of it. Like, they don't highlight the like what it can do to you physically. They only highlight what it does to you mentally. And I feel like that needs to be talked about a lot more is the physical part.
Which it did a lot. Like, as we covered with her not eating, me not eating, um, well, we didn't cover mine, but I didn't eat for a period of time
Like,
either.
not being able to get out of bed. Even the littlest accomplishments, like getting up and going downstairs and getting something, even like not even to eat, even to drink, is a challenge. Like, is a battle.
Sometimes it can even be, it can be both or even opposite too, with not necessarily waking up, but falling asleep. You can have issues falling asleep, or
Yes.
you can have issues falling asleep and then issues getting up.
Yes.
Even
Like-
if you've slept for 12 plus hours.
Yeah.
It's just it's a very hard fought battle
It is.
for a long time.
Would you mind if Brandon came over?
What time is it?
It's like 8:10. Because then he could just take me home.
If you want to tell him to come over, but he probably won't be here long. Because the kids have school tomorrow, so I was planning on taking you home soon anyway.
Yeah. I'll just say I'm going to be coming home soon.
But
Or I can pick you up because I want to show you something else. He can just pick me up.
yeah. If he wants to come and get you, he can. But I said I probably didn't plan on having you here like too.
Oh, I know. I wasn't planning on being here too much longer either. I was planning on going home in like less than an hour, so he's probably going to be leaving soon.
Mhm.
But yeah, it's like the little challenges here or there that people don't actually think are challenges.
Mhm.
Just tell me, let's leave now. We can leave now.
And it's a lot to do.
It is. And it's crazy to think that, like, even just a simple task of eating, like, toast
Mhm.
or, like, just making a sandwich is the biggest task in the world because sometimes you just don't have the appetite for anything in a day.
And it's not just food. It's not just sleep. It's
Everything.
literally
Everything. Like, it got to the point with me where I didn't eat or drink anything for like a day. I didn't go to the bathroom at all that day. I just slept the whole day.
I've had it like to the point of like even just driving to school was a chore and just felt like eternity. Even though it's only like a 15-minute drive, it just felt like it took
Like,
forever.
there was a period in my life that I didn't even want to go to bowling. Like, while all that was going on, I did not want to go to bowling, even though bowling is my safe place.
Your outlet.
It's
yeah.
my outlet. I didn't even want to do that. Like, I would show up to bowling after practice was over because I slept till 11 o'clock.
Mhm.
And I just did not want to get up and go. Like, Matt, he noticed a big change in me. Like, after I smashed my phone,
Mhm.
he called me. He's like, "Where are you?" I'm like, "I was just in the shower." I snapped at him. I'm like, "Give me a fucking minute." And I hung up. I didn't even let him get a word in. I'm like, I just hung up because I was going through so much mental shit that I did not want to do it. Like, I just did not want to.
YouTube ain't watching anymore at this point.
No.
Demonetize.
Fuck you.
I guess I moved it fast enough that it counted.
Yeah. But it's like that's what blows my mind is that like the littlest things can be the hardest things in life.
Oh yes.
Even at teen years, like we're not even getting into like the adult shit.
We haven't even like hit adult to see.
No.
We've like baby stepped into
Yeah.
adulthood.
Yeah. Like I can still say that I have my moments every now and then that I just don't want to do anything. Like
I think we both do, where it's just kind of a
like it just feels overwhelming to do anything. Like this weekend, I know it's going to be good for me because it's going to keep me busy all throughout the day and get me something excited to look forward to.
And even when we're not busy, we gonna be drunk as fuck.
Exactly.
So
That's when I think we should do the second part.
we're gonna do another podcast
Yes.
at the house.
We could also have Brandon sit
So what
in
you're
with us.
telling me is bring the light and the tripod.
Let me bring the ring light.
I'm also gonna bring this because this thing works great.
Because we could set it up in our room.
Because we have consistent lighting that actually looks pretty good.
So I'll bring the ring light and you'll bring your box.
Your box.
Your box. But
Boxes.
Baxes.
We haven't said that in a long.
Baxes.
We haven't said that
Breakfast.
in a hot minute.
Breakfast. I think you can take that blanket down now.
I'm a little scared.
It's dark out.
No. If I'm being honest, I'm a little scared too. Because, like, I don't want to pull the curtain rod down. So you said it was dark.
Is it not?
Still a little light out there. The sun hasn't gone
Shit.
down yet.
Fuck. Hole in one.
We'll just
No, but we could.
put my old 50s curtain.
No, but we could definitely have Brandon sit in with us on the second part.
Well, you can even join us on this part for a little.
Yeah.
Actually, you know what? It's getting a little hot in here.
It's getting hot in here.
So people.
Close.
I smacked the screen.
With your hat. Was there any point in your life where you feel like you could not even tell anybody what was going on through your head?
About anything?
About anything. Like,
so one of the biggest reasons why I think I moved out of my dad's house is probably the obvious one, where like I wanted to come out. I was tired of
being in the closet.
pretending I was somebody that I wasn't.
Yeah.
But like he thought. Oh, it's especially right here.
Ooh, I can
because
feel
it's
it.
coming in and rolling
I
down
can feel
right
it.
on my neck. But he talked a lot with me about like girls and stuff, which I get. You expect your son to be straight if he doesn't say anything otherwise.
Yeah.
But I didn't know how he was gonna react. I honestly didn't know how anybody was gonna react because like my dad never mentioned anything whether he was okay with it or not. My sister never mentioned anything how she felt. My brother same way.
Yeah.
Mom, like nobody ever mentioned anything on how they felt about anything. The only thing my brother would do, it was actually really funny. He would always ask me, girlfriend? And I'd be like, no. And he'd be like, boyfriend? and I'd giggle on that one, and I'd say no. Because I wasn't out yet at that time.
I feel like your brother knew, though.
A lot of people knew. My sister was like, I knew. So was my brother. So
your
was my
dad
mom.
made a comment to me the other week. It was about you specifically as a child.
Oh, you didn't say anything to me about this.
I thought you heard him.
No.
It was about how, I guess when you were little, you used to strut around in dresses and heels at the age of like 6.
No, he didn't say shit to me about this one. Neither did you.
And he's like, I knew. He's like, I knew he was gay. I look at him like, did you though? He goes, yeah, I did. He's like, but I wanted him to come to me about it.
Which I didn't.
And I'm like, wow.
Jessica.
I'm like, wow. I wasn't gonna go that into it, but.
Fuck, it's turning. This I want to put the trailer over here. Give me a... We're starting far off topics today.
Imagine when we're drunk. Oh my god! That's a big fucking trailer.
Oh, when you see the car, that's gotta go on here.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Nerd.
Oh. It works though. Not backwards.
Excuse me. Excusey.
Look, it fits the blanket that you can't see.
I even mentioned that when you're in bed, I'm like, you can't see the horse, but there's a horse on
It
the
was
blanket.
all the way up here at one point. And
In the last one, it was.
It just kind of no. When we started this one, it
Oh,
was
was
up
it?
here. And then it's
Well, you
slowly-
noticed I kept pulling this up just so I wouldn't fall.
Yeah.
Like, it was actually better this time
Me and you have a habit
of moving.
especially you.
It's my anxiety. I have to be moving. Like, you noticed in school, I could not sit still in the seats.
No.
Especially in Brad's class.
God. Mr. Hobbs' class was
God. Dreadful.
dude.
It was dreadful.
That was awful.
Yeah.
Not because I like him as a teacher.
It was just the class.
Except for his voice. He was very monotone.
Oh
so it was
my
so
god, you
hard
could
to
easily
say
fall
it.
asleep.
But like, I don't know. It was just. It didn't help with when we had not Kalina, Jelena fucking.
Oh my.
Yeah,
Jingle, jingle.
she'd steal my because like, so the back like 2 rows of this class had like big tables. Like they were huge. They were like at least 3 desks put together in surface area. So you set like my binders and everything up there. I'd put my keys, my phone, my wallet. Like I'd empty everything and be like,
Mm-hmm.
Kalina would grab my keys.
Kalina?
Or Jelena or Yelena. Is it? Yeah, it's
Jelena.
It's Jelena.
Jelena
I
Horn.
said Yelena because
Yelena
it was
Horn.
spelled that way. She would grab my keys and just sit there, just she'd bat at them or like jingle
Oh
them.
my god.
And the teacher just wouldn't give a fuck.
Whoa.
She sat in between us. On
Yeah,
the
she
floor.
wasn't even asked at her actual desk.
She sat in between us on the floor.
Yeah.
Never did anything. I remember she would like color stuff. Like, Mom, Dad, look what I made.
That was her soccer mom.
It was great.
She saw me go through some shit too.
You have a really funny story about the one day what Richard asked you when I wasn't there.
So, oh god. So every day we'd go into our, what was it, like 8th period?
It was the last period, but
Yeah,
I think we only had 4 periods at that time.
No, this is when they took away block.
Yeah, but remember we had that alternate thing where it was like 4, 4, 4, 4. You like went back and forth.
Yeah. So it was always the last period, or like one of the last classes that we had on our technical schedule. So the one day I got in before he did because my one class was closer than his, and I walk in. The one kid that was in our class goes, "Where's your boyfriend?" And I'm like, "I don't have a fucking boyfriend." He goes, "Isn't Dylan your boyfriend?" And I go, "No, he's gay." And as I say that, you walk in.
No, I don't think that I walked in.
No. And he looks at me, he goes, "That motherfucker's gay?" I'm like, "Yeah, I thought you knew this." He goes, "No."
He doesn't act like it.
That's pretty much it. He's like, he doesn't act like. I'm like, you don't gotta act gay to be gay.
Oh, I'm sorry. Let me just.
Mm-hmm. Let me just strut around
Let me
and
see your
fucking.
coffee cup. Oh, I'm sorry. Let me just. Walk around like this everywhere.
And it's like, And that Jalena's dying on the floor. Like, she's just dying on the fucking floor at this. And so is Kayla, by the way. So is she.
And then I came in.
And
with Kayla.
All you see is just my face is just red.
Why?
Because I'm like, did I just out him on accident?
No. I was out at that point.
I'm
I
like-
came out freshman year.
I'm like, was I supposed to tell somebody something I wasn't supposed to? Like, I felt so bad. And I'm like, Dylan. Like, I just told Richard you were gay. You're like, that's fine.
That's cool. I thought I said to you too. I was like, I thought he knew. Or I said something along the lines
No,
of like,
and Zach, let me tell you what Zach fucking did. He just put his fucking head down and just
what, when you said that to Richard that he's gay?
yeah. And I heard Zach go, I fucking told you this.
wait. So they've had a conversation about this?
Well, they had a suspicion, or Zach knew.
Zach straight up knew.
Zach knew, but Richard had a suspicion about it.
I still have a suspicion about Richard. There ain't no way in hell that man is 100%.
Who doesn't? When people call him Dickie?
Well, that's because his
Look-
name is Richard. So
Oh my
they
god.
called him Dickie.
Oh my god. But, ugh. Remember the one time when I was in study hall for like the whole day? And
Slutty hall?
study hall!
I'm sorry, I heard slutty hall.
I said study hall, bitch.
I heard slutty hall.
Well, basically the same thing.
Yeah. Facts.
And I think I just got sick of it, so I went up to the one class you were in, because you were in economics. And I'm just sitting in there with you.
Economics. Was that Mrs. Harris?
No.
I thought that's where I had a
Tech. Because you were at the same table, or like same group as Kayla. And I think it was
I don't
Thompson.
think Tack liked me too much.
Because you didn't do his
We
work.
never did anything.
Because you didn't do his work.
Well, I was with Thompson and Kayla. What do you expect?
Yeah.
And then
Imagine
that,
if I was put
and-
into that
And then that
mix.
other girl. Yeah, we were getting shit.
Dude.
We the one time took pictures of a picture of a picture of a picture, and I kept going on our phone. Like, we kept taking pictures of all of our phone. Like, one person, we put all... Okay, so somebody took a picture of a picture Thompson I had on my phone. Then somebody else took a picture of both of our phones.
Mm.
And then somebody else took a picture of all three of the phones. And then we kept rotating the three phones
I
around.
remember for the longest time, Thompson was your background.
Yes,
I
he was.
remember that
Yes,
he was your
was.
background
He
for
was
like
the-
a year.
He was it was the picture when he ran at me right when I got this phone, and he was like, "Do you want my penis?"
Yep.
And I had.
And he's just making the
And I took the picture right when he said the penis. Part.
penis. It was a good picture.
Honestly,
It was a good picture.
I still have that picture.
Oh my
It
god.
hasn't gone anywhere. It was, I think, the first picture I took of my phone.
Oh yeah, by the way, you guys are gonna see my boyfriend soon.
Yay!
Yay!
Bambino!
Bambino! Bone daddy!
I forgot that we told him about that on the last.
Bone daddy!
Oh shit, I hope that he doesn't just walk in here when he gets here.
Should I tell him to knock?
Yeah, well, we might hear him.
Oh, you'll hear it.
Bone.
Bone daddy.
He my bone daddy.
He's my bone daddy.
Listen,
Get your own bone daddy.
I can't. Nobody talks to me for more than, like, a couple days. Which makes no sense.
Oh my god.
I'm not that ugly.
You're
I'm
not.
ugly.
You're pretty good looking.
I'm ugly, but not that ugly.
You're pretty good looking. If you like maintain your hair,
I need to cut it.
you do.
I wanted to cut it today, but we see what happened there. So tomorrow.
Yeah.
And then.
Are you gonna like get like a shave, or are you just gonna cut this like?
What I
trim it?
did last time, where it's like a full head shave, but it's at like a 5 or 6. where
Oh,
it's
that's not
more.
bad.
So it's
So
still
it just
long.
takes the long.
It's still long, but it'll take a back.
Yeah, it'll take just the long back part.
But I'll still have def enough.
Def enough.
Yeah.
Can I see def enough?
It's very.
It's very flat.
Probably because
At least you don't have a mullet.
I don't know about that. If I turn this way, it's very moldy.
I swear I thought you had a mullet at one point. Right.
I didn't cut it to be a mullet, but I.
It was just the way
would
it looked.
Push all the hair to the center.
Oh my god, I remember when you had a fucking ponytail.
I'm at that point again that I can do it.
That's why you need to cut it.
That's why I need to cut it. Seems like it grew really fast this time.
Christ, you look Brandon when his facial hair gets too.
I also want to shave this, but I'm not gonna like do like the razor like all the way down. I'm gonna put one of the
guards.
the short guards on it, so I
Yeah.
keep a little bit.
Yeah.
Because if you notice, it's slowly starting to actually like. Fill
Yeah, it's
in on
starting
the
to
side.
fill in,
So-
which is really weird for you because it never fills in. It's not like Thompson and Brandon's beard.
I actually might a couple more times run flat razor. Because that's what actually started growing this. And Thompson told me if no hair is growing, if you run the flat razor,
Yeah, it'll all come in evenly.
it'll actually, there is little hairs there, but they don't grow all the way at first. But the more you run,
the
just
more it'll
over
grow
it,
because
it'll-
you're going over the pore.
Yeah.
Pores are weird. They're really weird.
They are.
We got so off topic.
Oh my god.
We got so off topic.
That's because we can't talk about depression shit for too long.
No, because we get depressed. Especially me.
Yeah.
Yum, yum, yum.
Your tongue is just blue.
I blew a smurf.
Oh yeah, it looks like it.
Is it blue or is it green? Because that's green.
Oh, it's pretty blue.
It's teal.
It's teal.
It's teal.
It's teal.
It's teal.
Go compare it to the green construction paper.
No, I don't feel like it.
I'm not even kidding you guys. I have like a
roll.
a brand new roll of like elementary school grade construction paper. You know what? I'm gonna go grab it because ain't nobody gonna believe me.
You're just gonna pick it up. Can your skinny bitch ass pick it up?
These things are actually a lot heavier than
Exactly, that's why I'm saying. Here, just rip a piece off and I'll compare it to my tongue.
So I got this when I worked for the school district. They were throwing all of them out.
Yeah, because that's when they finally got rid of the 4 elementary schools.
So I was gonna use this for a green screen, and let's be honest, I could green screen my entire house. Look at this. It's pure elementary school grade
My boyfriend's here.
construction paper.
My boyfriend's here.
What am I gonna do with it? I don't.
Do we want to go out and get them?
You know what? I think when my sister's 16th birthday comes around and she gets my dad's pickup truck, I should wrap the entire truck like a Christmas present.
Do we want to go out and get them?
Oh no. Where are my shoes? Oh no.
Oh no.
Ooh. Wait, where's your bed?
That is
He has the futon.
Well, can't really say much.
Okay.
You go in middle.
Oh boy. Wait, what? Oh shit.
This is Brandon.
Wait, shit. Is this live?
No. Is it?
It
It's
says live.
classified as live.
How
but
many
it-
people are
but
gonna watch?
No, it's privated because this is our podcast. Well,
I drove here just to honk my horn.
which they probably heard.
Yep.
Yeah, because the window was open.
Horn works.
You're blocking our backdrop.
Oh shit. Oh wait, hold on. I got this. Hold up.
It's gonna break.
No,
I
it ain't.
guarantee you.
Listen, I might break shit for a living, but I can be gentle.
Just gotta hold it.
Hold up. I got.
Okay, why does he look better than the both of us in the...
Disconnected.
You're disconnected. Oh no. I don't know what the fuck. I don't know what you're saying. Man. Look at that. Brand spanking fucking new.
Oh my God.
So
Yes.
anyway, how was your guys' day?
Pretty good. You know, he set up a savings account.
Oh, nice.
Which took way longer.
Yeah. They go sitting in the car for like 45 minutes. So I didn't feel like going in.
Well, I asked the guy at the thing. I was like, okay, how long is it gonna take? He's like, usually it takes, like 5 minutes.
Usually.
Did Frank appreciate the Smirnoff?
Oh yeah, he had to move all 3 of his lawnmowers for me to park my Durango in the garage. And then we only got the front half
Why
in.
does he have 3 lawnmowers?
I don't know. His stepdad was there picking up junk, so I was helping him move like 2 ovens in the bed of his truck and a dishwasher.
That sounds like fun.
Yeah, and I didn't even know the guy, but I thought it was his dad because he kind of looked like him.
You're my dad. Boogie, woogie, woogie.
Girlfriend's stepdad. So, no relation.
Bonk.
But yeah, we figured out that the fuse for the horn also goes to the AC clutch. So when my AC went bad
The horn.
and seized up, it just blew and the horn went too. So that's probably what happened. But we tried fixing that screeching. We fixed it kind of. Well, we thought it was like the dustpan because it was like you could fit a piece of paper between the dustpan and the rotor. So we bent it back a little bit, but it's still making that like chirping sound, and like I still when I like turn left, it makes it a little bit, but not as bad. So I think because we couldn't get like under the below shoe knuckle.
So probably what it's doing is your outer tie rod is probably hitting it when you turn, and then it pushes it into the rotor.
Yeah.
So you can just do what I did. I just yanked it off.
What, the dustpan?
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking of doing because the right side dustpan was fine. Left side is the only one that's giving me an issue, and it's not even really an issue. It's just annoying at this point.
Question for you.
No. Okay, now I might have an answer.
Can we bring your ring light with this weekend?
Sure. Are you doing the podcast?
Yeah, we're gonna do a drunk version.
Fuck it, I need a reason to use that thing.
You know what I just thought of that looks terrible? Casting couch.
Oh boy.
What?
I'm a special guest.
Do you not know what the
Alright.
Do you not know what the casting couch?
No.
You're her boyfriend.
She doesn't watch porn.
You can explain.
I don't watch porn.
So there's this couch,
Oh
right?
God! I got
okay.
I got
it's
the
in
couch
every video.
part.
It's the same couch.
Every girl starts out on a couch, the same couch. It must be like a brand deal or something.
Dude, it's got
But every girl in a porn, whenever they're like interviewing her and asking her like all these questions, no one cares about.
quiet the dirty talk down. Just a
Yes.
little bit, just to where we hear it.
So anyway, they sit the girl down, they interview her, and fucking, then they fuck her on the couch. And usually it's covered in jizz stains, and they don't change the couch. So every new girl just adds to the couch.
Oh, so like your couch.
It's a black couch.
You're the only girl that has ever added anything to that couch. Millie.
No, you've added to the couch.
Brandon looks like a ghost.
Yeah, you know. Not if you include his arms.
Oh, we're gonna expose me.
Oh,
Sorry.
Look
Yeah.
at that.
Fucking
construction. That's worse than me.
yeah, we've been outside all fucking.
I feel like I need to be in the middle to like even you two out. You are dirty.
No. Okay.
Yeah, it was under my
wait,
car all
hang
day.
on. I don't know. The light.
Look
kinda
at the
came out.
muscle.
Fucking look at it.
No, not that. We're comparing dandelions,
I-
Brandon.
I gotta do this a little backwards.
Yeah, you definitely have it more than I do.
Oh, he's in the sun more. Nice armpit hair.
Thanks.
Oh, I just heard your shirt.
Yeah, I need new shirts.
Oh my
We also
God.
tried fixing my hood,
Oh,
which
What's-
entailed drilling it. Like, you
What's
know,
wrong with your hood?
nothing. Just the one side just doesn't close all the way. We found out it's because whoever had it before took out the factory bolt and just popped the new one in, but it's like the factory bolt has like a little spacer and then the bolt goes out, so it like
Mhm.
keeps it level. They just threw a bolt in there and threw like 3 washers, 2 on one side, 1 on the other. So we just drilled a hole through it. Frank had a spare bolt that was big enough, and it's more like with the seam, it's more aligned, but we've come to the conclusion that the hood probably was just bent at some point because it looked like they tried like doing something to it because there's still how many harnesses for wires in there for the plow.
Should we shift gears back to the depression talk?
Does he have any? Oh, he does.
He does.
What do you want to talk about? The times where I would always cut myself to feel something, or the times I tried to kill myself?
You really just.
Well, if you want to talk depression,
Dylan's
let's go.
gotta step off of camera sight after that one.
So, we were talking about like trauma.
Childhood
Yeah,
trauma.
childhood trauma and how it affected us like in the adult life too.
And just for reference, it's been almost 2 hours.
Yeah.
For this podcast, not the first one.
Yeah. The
This
first
isn't
one we
the
talked.
first- Oh, right. You
the
said
first
we're
one we-
filming again.
Yeah, the first one was about bowling, and how the community can be really toxic.
Which we
And-
straight off in that one too.
Not as bad as this one.
Well, I showed up.
Well, not even just that. Before you showed up, like, oh my
The
god.
first hour was pretty on topic.
Yeah.
After that, it was kind of like we started talking about good memories more than what we were
Yeah.
supposed to talk about.
Like,
Well, yin and yang.
yeah. Like, how do you think? Because I don't want to assume, but I have a feeling you have some childhood trauma.
I mean, to be fair, I don't really think about it unless people like point it out to me, and then I stop and think, huh, I guess that was kind of fucked up.
Which we just did.
Yeah.
So,
Because immediately the first person that comes into my brain, albeit I love her to death, but my mom, just because she was like overbearing to the point where it just like she'd push, I'd push harder,
Mm-hmm.
and she'd keep pushing.
Mm-hmm.
So there were times where I would just like run away from home because we get into screaming matches, and she would like physically block my exit from the house to like kind of keep me there.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, in my head, I'm like, she's trying to make me instigate something to make me out to be like every asshole man that she's ever married.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's like I failed before I even had the chance to try.
Like, she wouldn't ever let you drink.
She didn't even want me to do fucking. She didn't want me to get my license. She almost didn't take me, but she only came with because Manda was already taking me.
Yeah.
My sister. Which I guess I understand because I'm like the baby of 6, so she got heavy onset empty nest syndrome.
Mhm.
But then like her and my dad constantly fighting and bringing me in the middle of it,
Mm-hmm.
and like no matter how hard I tried to like explain it to them,
There we go.
they would just like I would try to explain like you both talk shit on each other to me, and I have to just sit here and deal with it, and then immediately they're like, oh, what do they say? So that kind of sucked.
Why does the Supra look like that?
I don't
It's
know.
like-
Boxy. It's like
like-
a Lego car.
Yeah. It is.
If you look at the other one on this monitor, it's fine.
Yeah, what the hell?
It also looks funky though from here because it's a curved monitor.
Oh,
Yeah.
All
So-
right, you're. Well, that's cool.
Did you see my setup?
No, well, not the new. Is that a new monitor? Oh no, the racing setup. Ooh,
So it's got this, the wheel, and then there's a handbrake.
looks like a microphone.
It's a handbrake.
It could be a microphone too.
Sure.
Because I even got on the topic of my dad.
Which was interesting.
Like,
put
I
my
even
shoe on by
brought
accident.
up therapy and how my mom doesn't know this. I almost choked out the counselor.
I thought that was kind of funny.
Because she said something that was really offensive to me, which wasn't really offensive at all.
And what, you just kind of like lunged on her?
You can scoot over and kind of talk. I'll let her be like the main.
So basically what happened was she made a comment about my dad and see like if I ever tried seeing it from his point of view with everything, and that's kind of when I just went like yoink. Like my hands, like her throat was in my hands.
But you weren't like doing any pressure
No,
on it? You
no.
were just holding it?
I was
like-
just trying to scare her. I was just trying to scare her. You had one
Dylan,
job.
My
Fuck up a
phone.
wet dream if I let
Wait, how do you fuck up a wet dream?
I don't know, it just sounded funny to say because I hear it at work all the time. Or my brother
What are
used
you
to say it.
doing?
Switching
Doing it
around.
this way.
Damn.
Oh god, this way? Like zooms.
What did you do?
I pinched one of my buttons.
was it just kind of like when they hit you with okay, try seeing it from his point of view? Was it like in your head kind of more like you thought? So now you're taking my dad's side.
I was also 17, and all of this was still really fresh to me.
Yeah, true.
So in my head, I'm like, I'm not in the wrong. He's in the wrong for all the shit he did, and he's the reason why I'm here. Like, my mom was going through papers today, and she found my anger management papers.
Is that what that book was?
The sketchbook?
Yeah.
No, that was from Visual Arts. There was a packet on the corner table in the living room that legit says anger management on it. Which, by the way, none of those drills fucking worked because she wasn't really understanding why I was so angry and why I needed to be there. She was just kind of there for the money, and that she thought that she could make a pretty buck off of me.
Wait, your counselor or your mom?
My counselor.
Okay.
No, my mom said that was fully my decision on to go, and we went through the school, and ironically, I didn't get suspended for that.
I mean, I guess it's his counseling, so
Anything could happen.
yeah, and they can't really hold it.
They can't hold it against
you,
me.
'cause I'm pretty sure there's still that.
But they did want to send me to a mental institution after that.
Just a suggestion, here's a brochure.
Pretty much, it just gave me a brochure saying,
Just think about it.
yeah, saying if you ever think about wanting to go, here's a brochure on places where you could go. And I'm like, I don't want to fucking go. I want to not feel this way anymore.
It's kind of the reason you went there in the first place, so you didn't have to
But
go somewhere.
In the beginning, they made it worse because they were not understanding how I was feeling. They were more trying to see what the problem was over how to fix the problem.
Yeah, it makes sense. You can't
Because-
fix a problem you don't know what the problem is.
Yeah, like I said earlier to him, like, I went because I wanted to get fixed. I wanted to not feel shitty anymore, basically to say. Like, I didn't want to feel shitty. I didn't want to feel a certain way anymore. Like, I was done being angry. It was exhausting me. Like, I wasn't sleeping for, I think the one time was for like a week because I was so angry. Like, I broke a couple phones. I almost broke a mirror. Almost put a bunch of holes in my wall because that was the only way I could release myself. But I would never hit a person because I wasn't raised to do that. Like, the most I've acted on when it came to like professional help was me trying to choke out somebody. That was like the most I ever fucking did.
I mean, I did that once, but it wasn't to like a counselor. It was just fucking kid.
Yeah. Not for the life of him.
No.
But anyway, we're at the 2-hour mark. So if y'all want to end this off,
Yeah.
since y'all are sitting there.
Yeah.
Is there like an
Bye!
Get the fuck out of my room! Wait, it's not my room.
Hope you enjoyed my TED Talk.
I did.